offering or presenting a webinar about UAE food security in crisis time. And before we start, I would like to introduce myself with a small biography. You can see it in the screen. For some stages, I passed through it since I start working after graduation. Something about my background as agriculture and environment in the university degrees, and that allow me to involve in different topics and subjects like in microbiology, food analysis, food safety, food research, laboratory quality control, product certification, environmental impact assessment. Also, I play a role with food standard coordination. That on the background of international food and law regulation certificate, I did it. I got it from the Michigan State University in areas of food law, United States law, European food law, Codex Alimentarius. Also, I'm involved in internal auditing, like internal assessor in food authorities and testing laboratories under ISO 9001 to 22000 food safety management with the excessive training session, especially in ISO 17025, which I got that training in UK. For my postgraduate, I did master in applied food safety management that allowed me to get in food safety training, HACCP awareness, food safety auditing for food hygiene, and evolving method of HACCP implementation. Actually, I use all this knowledge and experiences to be a guest speaker for food analysis safety, food security topics in United Arab Emirates University and conferences. Also, I use all this knowledge and experience to supervise and training university students who are getting in our facility to get their internship. Those training include advanced laboratory techniques and quality control in laboratory. I also recently become certified trainer of the trainer, TOT, and I hope I can give you some good information about the topic, which is UAE food security in crisis time. I will start with the first overview for the presentation today. We are going to talk about concept of general food security, dimension of applied food security dimension classification, food security challenge, factor affecting the food security, characteristic of concept of food security, general food security and indicators of measurement, importance of food security globally and locally at the level of the countries. First of all, of course, food is very essential for everybody in this global or life. Securing food is one of the first prioritized of mankind through the age and times. Human practice agriculture, hunting, grazing, even they make foul, war, and conflicts in order to secure their needs and their people needs. The obsession of securing food is still the dominant concern of man on this up to date, and the stability of the country depends so much or mainly on ability of the state to provide food for its people. Government have taken care of this intensively to produce many terms that indicate appropriation of food provided by the state, such as food security. So food security is the term include different dimensions. Let's go. We'll start to give overview for the international organization which work directly with food and providing and food trading, food security, food safety, and even food standards, and some two important measurement treatment agreement treatment. Start with the oldest UN organization, which is called FAO, is Food and Agriculture Organization, established 1945. That's why it's very old in Rome, the headquarters. It works very important roles in global scale. It is an organization that aim to defeat hunger and improve nutrients and lead international effort towards food supply. This is the FAO. The second one is 1961 established World Food Program, World Food Program Organization, which is the largest organization concerning or supporting food security along the, or around the corner of the world. 1962 established World Food Program Organization, which is the largest organization concerning or supporting food security along the or around the corner of the world. 1962 established World Food Program Organization, which is the largest organization concerning or supporting food security along the corner of the world. Again, I go back to 1963. We'll find very important joint between FAO and WHO, which is World Health Organization. They make joint and they establish or create Codex Alimentarius. Codex is the food code. We can say it's food code, and Codex is about collection of standards and regulation which regulate the food trade and standards which protect consumer health globally. So it's very important agreement and organization for the Codex Alimentarius. There is also 1994, is two agreement which it comes out from the WTO. The first one is sanitary and phytosanitary measure (SPS), and which is very important because it's about quarantine and biosecurity measure applies to protect human, animal, and plant life. So it's a very important agreement, which more likely to associate it with the plant production, which is the plant side, which offers too many types of food, take care of these conditions. The second one is the technical barriers to trade. It's the technical barriers to trade, abbreviation TBT. Also, one of the agreements comes out from the WTO, which is World Trade Organization. It's concerning about ensuring the global trade flow. And this, how to do that? They check the regulation standard and conformity, and they make sure that it's not making any unnecessary obstacles to trade in food between nations and to make it more harmony, business over between nations more harmony, especially in the food aspects. Finally we talk about World Trade Organization. This is the most important trade organization, established in 1995, replaced another organization called GATT. We will talk about why it came to World Organization. And World Organization, very important to regulate the business between nations and to solve the dispute which taken place between nations about tariff and customers and two different things. They can mutual interests, the conflict of interests between nations, and it takes place the headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. Move forward, the concept of food security. The concept of food security in the world emerged starting 1960s, demonstrate the state ability to secure an adequate stock of food commodities for individual with a specified period, not less than 2 months or more than 1 year. This makes you food secure between less than 2 months and 1 year. And until it can restore again. Of course, it's not a constant or a stable thing, but it's something between 2 months and 1 year, and then you can restore it again. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization, which is one of the UN organization, has been known as the guarantee to always provide all people with access to the basic food. This concept of food security has three basic points. I can mention as ensure it's obtained and appropriate quantities for anyone who requested or needed. B, stability in the market in terms of the quantities offered. C, ensuring the production of appropriate quantities of food. We go for another level, food security dimension. It consists for depend on three pillars. As we can see, the pillar food security in the top. The first pillar is availability of food. Second one is access to food. Third one is utilization of food. Three pillars make it will reach to stability. Let's talk about the first pillar. The food availability. All people have sufficient food available on constant used as a supply source of food security. This is the food availability. The food access, as per USAID, individual enough income or resources to purchase appropriate food needs and maintaining the consumption, diet, or nutrition. This is food accessibility. The last one is the food utilization. This is the rate of consuming nutritious day, not only just eating food without getting the right or appropriate nutritious diet. So based on food nature knowledge, so this is there is education here, there is a knowledge about the content of this food, the nature of this food. So three pillar it support or maintain the food security. And we can see in a different way here the food security dimension, stability, and you can see even the outcomes of the food availability, accessibility, and food utilization. It leads us to a nutritional outcome. A nutritional outcome, that means the rate and the suitability of the food for the human being, and the consuming uh, helps to support the life. And this is it has many reflect with the human resources, human psychology, different things. It has direct considering or direct relations with the life itself. So we go now for food security components, which is basically are five. We consider it as five. Food security needs water resource availability and human resource availability, agriculture and pastures and forest availability, livestock availability, and the last one, availability of modern technology. As we can see, this is the most important component which make food security real. I mean, we can securing the food by having all these components. There is also a level for food security. Food security is divided into two main levels. We can classify the food security. There is a relative food security and absolute food security. In the left side, we can see the relative food security indicates a state's ability to provide and find the goods and food needed by the people or individuals in part and to ensure the minimum level of needs on a regular basis, providing food in corporation. The absolute one, the second level, is the provision of food within one state at level that is equal to or sometimes higher than domestic demand, and can be often considered to achieve the concept of full self-sufficiency. So now we can see the difference or realize the difference between the relative and the absolute. Many people can they start to think that absolute food security may be the best thing or the ideal option, but we can realize that absolute is unrealistic because no one state can cultivate or breeding animals and keep everything in the level a whole year. Because here they can they can lack the use of comparative advantage available in global trade, diversity, and opportunity. So, regardless, without utilizing or consuming your raw resources like your water, your soil, and your people, human, you can import it from different corner of the world because we have a different season, excuse me, and different labor rate in four corner of the world. So you can take advantage, excuse me, from this opportunity. So it's relative and absolute levels. Also, food security has been defined by a characteristics. We can start with the first one is holistic. Holistic, that a whole picture. I mean, this picture which include the comprehensive concept that include cultural, social, economic, political, and religious dimension. So this is give a whole picture. So that we talk about the holistic food security characteristic. Another thing, the integration. Integration, that means interconnected. The vital sector cannot be separated from each other. So every sector has a connection. You cannot having a food without having labor. Labor needs technology. Land needs water, irrigation, and marketing, even logistics. So you need to get in integration all this to get your food security. Sustainability, that to be continually. That means continued food security leads to lower indicator of low food security and food crisis and setbacks. So sustainability, one of the most important factor or characteristic to keep food on the rate. Also updating. Updating because the concept of food security influenced by change in development circumstances, variable connected with. The last one, proactive. If you do all your assignment and you satisfy, you will have some surprises in future, like this outbreaks, like this coronavirus time, which makes life is change very drastically. So we should look in the for the future. Depends on the forward looking research and anticipating. Use your anticipation to address food crisis. So this is the food security characteristics. Also, there is a challenge. This challenge, I just define it in four category or four factors. Global water crisis. Everybody knows now there is a scarcity in water availability and there is water bufferity rate. We can see another slide. Climate change variability. Now we don't we don't predict the climate where we are cultivating our crops, which need cold weather and overnight climate is changing, drought and hurricanes, everything is changing. Also, neglecting and misuse of the agricultural land, the misuse of agricultural land that will lose the fertile soil surfaces, drought, desertification, and many things can go on if you are not using or best use of the agricultural land. Number three, plant infection with disease. Now, the best, very important. This is one of the implication of the SPS, sanitary and phytosanitary agreement that take care to protect the plant from the infection with diseases and also the problem of insufficient of the pest control. If we have insects and pests for our crops, so we have to provide sufficient pest control. Last one, everybody knows now, or we all now realize the high population inflation. The number of the population globally is higher than before. In this screening, there is a video, and I hope somebody can help me from the organizer. Let it work. It reveal it's a video where the first time we hear about UAE food security enhancing report in media.
مجددا كشفت كلية محمد بن راشد للإدارة الحكومية بحضور معالي مريم بنت محمد السيد المهيري وزيرة الدولة للأمن الغذائي المستقبلي، كشفت النقابة عن ورقة سياسات تقترح توصية حول كيفية تعزيز الأطر السياسية والتنظيمية والحكومية للتعامل الفعال مع الأمن الغذائي في دولة الإمارات عبر رصد أبرز نقاط الضعف والقوة في هذا الإطار واقتراح الحلول الناجعة لتحسينها. وتم إطلاق دراسة التي تحمل عنوان تعزيز الأمن الغذائي في دولة الإمارات بهدف استشراف مستقبل الأمن الغذائي في الدولة.
I guess we got the message here, and we can keep on about the UAE first report. This has been released by the future at that time, 2016. The Minister of State for Food and Water and Food Security is not appointed yet till that time, but she gave us this report, revealed this report about the food security in UAE. Here, we start with the Emirates Food Security Initiative because Emirates Food Security have many steps taken till starting. It gives us a fruitful result in the ground. Here you can see in the middle 2017 the UAE cabinet, the government of UAE appointed Minister of State for Food and Water Security, Her Excellency Ms. Mariam bint Mohammed Al Meheri, who has been delegated to have the food security file. Then there is initiative starting from that appointment, and we can see, for example, in the pilot diagram, food security research platform, an online portal to help the specialists to share publication. Another initiative, Emirates Council for Food Security, which is, I have a slide to show about this Council for Food Security. Another one is the launch of the National System for Sustainable Agriculture. Another one, the Food Security Dashboard of Dubai. Another initiative, The Global Food Technology Challenge, there is like a competition. The prize goes up to $1 million, which is very impressive. This is one of the initiatives. And, one more initiative was Agriculture Technology Accelerator, cooperation with the government accelerator program, launched 10 program initiative. So this is part of the food security initiative in UAE. Since the appointment of the UAE Minister of State, Miss Our Excellency Mariam bin Mohammed Al Muhairi, and this is the one of the outcomes of the National Food Security Strategy, which is defined to 2051. They take 2051. Up to 2051, there is a roadmap include 38 key short-term and long-term initiatives and coalitions of 14 national companies through 5 strategic directions starting 2021. That means the starting of the next year. This is the long term. We talk about 2051 National Food Security Strategy of UAE. Include 38 key short term and long term initiatives with the coalitions. Coalition, that means a group of company, national company, 14 company, work through this strategy to maintain or enhance the food security in UAE. And this is through 5 strategic direction in 2021. There is a 3 category here. The first important thing, facilitate global food trade. And here this takes me back again to the absolute and the relative level of the food security. When we talk about facilitate global food trade, we should think about food trading. That means you bring or imported item from different corner of the world using the comparative chances and opportunity to bring item with a good quality, with affordable prices from different world. And this will lead to, of course, the sustainability. That means the crops, different season all over the world, you can maintain the variety of your products from all over the year. The second one, the diversity of the food import sources. Rather than to depend on one source, you should make diversity. I mean, you bring it from different areas. Number 3, alternative supply plan. If you have a supply plan for the same item, you should cover 3 to 5 sources. This is one of the it's very wisdom idea for the major food item. If you want rice from India, you can bring also from somewhere, and you can put 3 backup. This is one of this is the third initiative. For the number, I don't want to go through it so much, but it gives ideas about what we eat in UAE, what is considering food security in UAE. Here, there is a baseline done in, I think, in 2016, and I will follow it by a next slide to show you the real things what happened. Develop UAE current food baseline. Everybody, of course, living in UAE knows about the most favorite food we eat or we use, we consume. The start dominated, that means more likely in people consuming grains, pulses, food pulses, of course. And another thing is livestock products and then fruit. So we have 4 important items of food: grains, food pulses, and livestock product, and then fruit. This is important key to understand the situation and what kind of food we depend on in UAE. And of course, there is a different direction for this. We can see some details. The grains, we can consider wheat, rice, sugar, pulse, and peas. In fruit, the most the big component is nuts, 16.5. For example, bananas, apples, orange, tangerine, and mango, and dates. This is in the fruit profile. In vegetables, we can say tomatoes, number 1, onions, leafy greens, other vegetable products, and potatoes. Livestock, the milk can exclude the butter, livestock yani products, poultry, meat, eggs, cattle meat, goat meat. We have fisheries and oils. There is another. The key of this diagram, the summary, grains and pulses are the largest consumption components. 33 out of 100, of course, of total our consumption is grains and pulses. The historical trends suggest an increasing consumption of carb-heavy and protein-heavy food item, which is the sad news, because people, when start to eat more carb-heavy protein, it complicates the health. But this is the historical trends uh, getting up. Total consumption per capita per day is approximately 2 kg. This is in line with the global average. So we are in a good in line with the global average. The sunflower seed oil is the largest consumed oil by household. The household, we use more sunflower than the other, like soybean oil, which is used mostly in industrial. So in industrial, we use more soybean. In household, we use more sunflower. This is the highlight about food security commodities. And we can see more about this here. I hope it's displayed somehow clear, but this is the actual one. This is because I bring it from the National Food Security Strategy. Again, the blood products, vegetable. There is 18 main food items considered as strategic food security. As we mentioned before, the blonde, the fruits, the vegetables, grain, pulse, milk, oil, livestock products, and etc. Also, there is some interesting numbers here. Like UAE since 2017 target to increase the sufficiency of the food security. It make a very impressive progression. It becomes in 31. We can see this lately. This is improving like 10 grades in 1 year. And we hope in UAE they expecting to be number one the food security by 2051. But at least in 1 year they got upgrading 10 rank up. That would be 31. Also, domestic production impact, there is 100 tons domestically productive increase in strategic food item in UAE. Interesting thing, economic impact in 2021, there is 16,000 jobs will be available in the food industry, of course. The monetary impact, how much you're gonna get money in food trading and food producing is 22 billion. This is impressive number. Of course, there is a lot of another interesting number, but I just want to give a highlight. This is now we can talk about Emirates Food Security Center. One of the initiative outcomes come from strategic plan for the food security. I showed you earlier the Food Security Center in Abu Dhabi. Food Security Committee established in 2008 to develop and adopt a food security strategy. In addition to building a strategic stock, you see the soils, and the storage of the grain, strategic stock covering all emirates of the UAE. Food Security Center established in 2010, implement and strategy and develop food security system at the state level. This is one of the initiative outcomes. It's use of technology to enhance food production. Also, there is numbers about. I just found infographic to talk about some number interesting in UAE and especially in Abu Dhabi. Like 90% food imported from outside the country. This is fact. 5% is the arable or cultivated land area in UAE. Only 5% we have arable land to be cultivated in UAE. 2.7 percentage cultivated vegetable crops. Only 2.7, and fruit trees in Abu Dhabi is considering 36.3. 4.3, the small remnants, that is small goats and sheep out of the animal. This is like 4.3 million. The percentage or the number of the small remnants, the small goats and sheep. And there is also mentioned 10 studies and researches, agricultural researches by the Abu Dhabi Research Organization. We can move. Now, I want to share you a very important topics worldwide and even in UAE, especially in our Gulf area. the food waste. Food waste, the root cause of the food waste, according to this study, issue related to food waste. This happened a study taken place across UAE, KSA, and Egypt. And this very influential country in our region. UAE, our country here, KSA is the biggest country in the as economic and in the Arab world, and Egypt the most populated country in the Arab world. Top source of the food wastage, which is very important to define it, is very too impressive number. 32% leftover or discard food in restaurant. 32%. This is the part of the food waste. So when we go to the restaurant, we order food, we order with the big portion, and we just left over it, and then this goes to the waste. 30% extra food cooked for celebration, which gets thrown away. That means if we have a celebration or festival, people cook overcooked, or not overcooked, I'm sorry, they cook extra food and then it gets thrown away. This leads us to the initiative, the next initiative, which is very important. This is UAE Food Bank, one of the initiative of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, ruler of Dubai and Prime Minister of the UAE, which is talking about the art of investing 15 billion dirham wasted annually. 15 billion dirham wasted annually. This very important initiative taken place in the year of the Al Khair, the given year, the 2017, 2016, and the initiative collaboration with local authorities as well local and international charities to introduce comprehensive ecosystem, improving the efficiency of the food. There is UAE Food Bank follows three main steps: collection of food, safe storage of food, and distribution of food. We can find details, of course, but highlighted a partnership with producers like hostel, restaurant, supermarket, farm to collect fresh and canned food. Second one, the Dubai municipality will provide operational support. That means they can logistically put it in trucks and then make it a collection. They also logistically packaging, storage, and distribution. Third one, distribution. This food collected has been packaged, repackaged again. Work with volunteers, only volunteers people, and partners to distribute well-bagged food with in and out outside the UAE. We can find outcome food banks operation will begin in Dubai or expand to other underdeveloped communities and regions and around the world. Volunteers will be trained in health and safety standards, of course, because food is very sensitive material. We cannot just send the food. You should check the measure for the safety standard and support on ground UAE Food Bank location and reach. UAE Food Bank will recycle the remnants of endiable food through the industries that may benefit from it. If you have some food, it will not consider proper for your facility, it can be proper for another facility if they make recycling like fertilizer, chemical, medicine, and etc. This is one of the impressive and great initiative in UAE, the UAE Food Bank, which is established in the year of the giving. Another activities or initiative taken place between partnership between Food Security Office under the Minister, State Minister, His Highness, Her Highness Mariam Al Muheri, and the FAO. We talked about FAO earlier, and there is two components here: strategic assessment, analysis of the food monitoring system, whereby FAO allocate its technical capabilities to help evaluate and improve the UAE food safety monitoring. This is one of the agreement, and the other one, the outcomes of this transforming food and agriculture sector to achieve sustainable development goal. This is very important topic. Our subject I'm going to talk about lately. This is like internationally government outcome to maintain the sustainable development goal, which is 17 goals. We talk about it, promoting food security and nutrition in pursuit of several FAO strategic goals, and etc. I have video now. I want to share with you. It's talking about the step where we start the food security roadmap, starting by appointed for food security state minister and delegate the alliances group for food. I hope we can share it.
يتطلب تحقيق الأمن الغذائي تضافر الجهود الدولية لمواجهة التحديات والمعوقات التي تحول دون الوصول إليه، إضافة إلى وضع الحلول الفاعلة للوصول إلى الاكتفاء الذاتي في العالم، والتي جاء من ضمنها في التشكيل الوزاري الجديد استحداث مناصب وزارية جديدة، وهو تعيين وزير دولة ووزارة للتعامل مع ملف الأمن الغذائي. فمن هذه الخطوة استقبل صاحب السمو الشيخ محمد بن زايد آل نهيان ولي عهد أبو ظبي نائب القائد الأعلى للقوات المسلحة في مجلس سموه بقصر البحر وفد تحالف الأمن الغذائي. قدم الوفد لسموه خلال اللقاء لمحة عن خطة برنامج تدريب مجندي الخدمة الوطنية التي أطلقها التحالف مؤخرا بتوجيهات سموه لتأهيل الكوادر الوطنية من مجندي الخدمة الوطنية على مستوى الدولة وإلحاقها بالمنشآت الأساسية التي تخدم منظومة الأمن الغذائي. وفي هذا الصدد أكد صاحب السمو الشيخ محمد بن زايد آل نهيان خلال اللقاء أن دولة الإمارات بقيادة صاحب السمو الشيخ خليفة بن زايد آل نهيان رئيس الدولة حفظه الله تضع مسألة الأمن الغذائي على سلم أولوياتها، وأنها ماضية في طريقها نحو تحقيق أعلى معدلات ممكنة للأمن الغذائي الوطني وضمان استدامته. المزيد من الخطوات جاءت لتعزيز قدرات الدولة في هذا الجانب من خلال بناء شراكات حيوية ومتينة بين المؤسسات الوطنية وإقامة المشروعات الاستثمارية محليا وخارجيا وتشجيع الأبحاث العلمية واستخدام التكنولوجيا الحديثة في إنتاج وتطبيق أفضل الممارسات العالمية لتحقيق الأمن الغذائي المستدام. ففي 16 من أكتوبر من عام 2017 بحثت معالي الدكتورة أمل عبد الله القبيسي رئيسة المجلس الوطني الاتحادي مع معالي جوزيه غراسيانو دا سيلفا مدير منظمة الأغذية والزراعة الفاو سبل تعزيز علاقات التعاون بين المجلس الوطني الاتحادي والمنظمة في عدد من المجالات، لا سيما تحقيق أهداف المنظمة في توفير الأمن الغذائي والقضاء على الجوع وتفشي مستويات عالية من سوء التغذية في العديد من الدول. جاء ذلك خلال زيارة معاليها مقر المنظمة بروما ضمن زيارة العمل الرسمية التي قامت بها معاليها على رأس وفد المجلس إلى الجمهورية الإيطالية. إذن يشكل الأمن الغذائي تحديا حقيقيا لدولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة التي تستورد نحو 90% من غذائها من الخارج وتشهد نموا مضطردا في عدد سكانها، وقد بات الأمن الغذائي من أهم الأولويات الوطنية في الدولة، علما بأن هذا التحدي يطال جميع دول الخليج العربي، وتم إعداد العديد من الدراسات في هذا الخصوص، وجاء الاستثمار الزراعي في الخارج من أهم السبل المتاحة لتوفير الأمن الغذائي، وهو يتلخص في استحواذ أراضٍ زراعية خارج الدولة واستغلالها وبيع منتجاتها في الأسواق المحلية والعالمية، على أن تنقل كافة هذه المنتجات إلى دولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة عند الضرورة، وعليه انطلقت العديد من الشركات الإماراتية كالظاهرة الزراعية وجنان للاستثمار وغيرها.
We start the video with appointment of Minister of State. Another thing, Alliance Company, 14 Company, given presentation in the Crown Prince Council. Also, the contribution of the National Military Services in food security projects. Also, they make the partnership with many national companies, use the advance of technology. The visiting of the National Congress head to FAO headquarters in Roma, 2017, to maintain the relationships and supporting the food security in the country. Also, the last topic mentioned in the video, the pursuit to invest overseas. Here we can see from this slide, UAE agriculture invest model outside the UAE. This project is done by a company called Amtar or Jinan. Amtar agriculture project has 300 acres in Sudan. Sudan with very fertile soil and plenty of water and arable land and using of the high-tech irrigation system like the floppy sprinkle, and you can see in the slide. Here I can say as an opportunity to invest outside. Sudan has 200 million acres suitable for cultivation, where United Arab Emirates have very good ties with the Sudan as Arab country, and with the brotherhood ties from long history. This slide, I'm going to show ranking increase in the global food security index, where UAE ranking, overarching indicator of the effectiveness of food security strategy, measuring country level performance against 4 pillars: availability, affordability, quality and safety, and natural resource, and resilience. These 4 pillars. So there is 2 categories of ranking. UAE achieved or secured rank number 33, measuring with the 3 pillars, except natural resources, resilience category. It secures 33 rank out of 113 worldwide countries in this index. When we talk about the other indication, measuring 4 pillars, as it mentioned the topic: availability, affordability, quality and safety, and natural resource. UAE secured a category or rank number 41 out of 113, which is very advanced for a country which is starting lately in doing the food security effort. Very good rank, and still going on, targeting to be the first in 2051. We don't forget that progress in the global food index. This is the improving what we talk about. Improved 10 position within 1 year. See, we can recognize the 1 year starting 2018. We used to be 31. In 2020, UAE secured 21 rank out of 113 countries. And the target and the goal expecting to be in 2051 to be the first state or the first global food security index. Now I'm just talking about things which link with the food security and has direct link, and everybody start to feel the climate change effects all over the world, and the climate change play a very vital role in food security. As we know, climate change impact on agriculture, this is the most important thing. We can give some example: loss of biodiversity in fragile environment, tropical forest. Tropical forest, there is deforestation. Loss of fertile coastal land caused by rising sea level. We can see the sea level rising, water flooding in different areas in the world, make a problem for us. More unpredictable farming condition in tropical areas, longer growing season in cool area. Another thing, increase in incident of pest and vector-borne diseases. This is different factors contributing in the climate change around the world. And this leads me to this very interesting slide. Why I'm talking about that? Because since the dawn of the history, we see cows and we see the fresh milk and pastures is very healthy, symbolic of life, and it is the very healthy symbolic of the life. But because for the misbalancing in different practices all over the world and the commercial against the quality, this affect our ecosystem. Of course, we know cows, the source of our fresh milk, and of course the meat. And we can start this cycle, which I call it a vicious cycle. Maybe we don't know exactly, and we don't expect it exactly that would be vicious. How we can start? Number one, cattle and sheep eat grass, which contains carbon. Cattle and sheep, we should know that, eat grass. This grass contains carbons. We go to step 2, microbes inside the stomach help to digest this grass. This grass which contain carbon, which come from the grazing over the land. This part of this, some of this carbon convert inside the guts of the cow to methane. CH4 is very important gas, and considered one of the greenhouse effect. Now we start to alert about what happened after microbes in the stomach in the digestion process give us methane. Methane, animal pumps this into air. We know this practice. Animal pumps in the farms, and these pumps contain methane. This methane, one of the greenhouse effect, which has a characteristic of trapping heat in the atmosphere. When this methane goes to the atmosphere, it traps the heat, causing climate change. So this is the level. Another level, this methane, it will not stop and just drop the heat in the atmosphere. Eventually chemically break down into carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide, is one of the most dangerous greenhouse effect. It goes back to the bachelor. That means the farm and the grass absorb carbon from the air as it grows. This is where cattle and sheep eat grass again, and the veggie cycle will cycle again. So for my surprising, I found statistics talking about this practice. But they sorry, they said global cows produce 15 billion gallons. These cows, the innocent cow we see in the farm, it produces 15 billion gallons of methane per day. This CH4 methane has global warming potential, one of the most important greenhouse effect. Why they consider it? It gives or produces 86 times of CO2 in 20 years frame. The impact of it, accumulation of it has impact 86 times of CO2 in 20 years. We see the bad side or the negative side of the climate change. There is also a hopes and a good practice to manage the climate change. Climate change is our responsible. Climate change is responsible for everybody in this world. Like this practice, we give an example. Number one, in the left, switching to varieties tolerant to heat, drought, or salinity. Go for that kind of cultivation. Also, optimizing irrigation. You cannot do the irrigation without controlling it. So we should optimize it. Managing soil nutrients and erosion. When we see the cow, matching animal numbers to change in batches. We cannot go bring it from Netherlands and everywhere in New Zealand, and we need only a factory milk. We change cows to factory, and then we see the vicious cycle I just explained to you. The last slide, it gives us this methane. Methane is horrible. That make a global heat, trap the heat, and finally it make very big damage in the climate change. Also, the more farms that mix crop and livestock, don't go for farm without livestock. Add livestock to the crop, it will optimize the outcomes. Also, controlling the spread of the pests and the weeds from diseases, switching for more abundant species. Go for fish and seawater fish or sea creature. It will give us abundance, availability, food. Also, restoring degraded habitat and breeding sites like mangrove, strengthening the infrastructure such as port and landing site. It will help to manage the climate change. This slide is about rainfall rates in Arab countries. For our knowledge, I see it is in Arabic, but I put UAE. UAE is the least amount of rainfall in the Arab world. We can see it's ranking number 33, and this is less than 10 in a year, 10 millimeter in a year, centimeter in a year. We can see a video about that, and that make us more aware about using very optimally and responsibly about water resources, because there is a huge investment to bring water to land and farming, drinking water in UAE. It's a big challenge. It's not in the UAE only, in all over the Gulf area and this region, of course. We'll see that. This very important video, I'd like you to enjoy it because it gives a very nice inspiration about the willing of the UAE cabinet to invest in upgrading the lifestyle or well-being of population here and keep the UAE water security. I hope this video it works domestically. I will start the video now. a year, less than 10 centimeter in UAE. And outcomes for all these topics about food security, it leads us to global food security challenge. As we see from this infographic or template, hunger in numbers in the world, this is globally or internationally number. 1 out of 9 people experiences chronic hunger. Every 9, there is one experience chronic hunger, not relatively hunger or like that. That means 821 million people worldwide have a problem of chronic hunger. It's a big number to know that somebody is starving or in a hungry status. 1 out of 4 world's children is stunted. Stunted, that means they not grow straight like the other normal children. They become short, become weak, like this. And I just quoted from United Nations expert, the global agenda for the change cannot be achieved if the right to food is not granted. Food is the right for everybody in this world. This is one of the, and here I'm just talking, I will just highlight it very briefly about sustainable development goal. It's a government, international government, United Nations adopted SDG. SDG is which is a must, is 17. What is concern us is SDG number 2, is the goal number 2, end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainability agriculture. So there is the 17 goal, all government in the world working to achieve it. Goal number 2, which is very important, is the food security. And I just focus on here about this. SDG 2, remember, there are 17, every symbol indicate for such practice or such rights for human being. Hunger eradication, that means just finish the problem with the hunger, zero hunger in the world, and the slug one here, no one left behind SDG 2. Nobody should be left. That means nobody should be hunger in this world, because there is abundance of food, but there is a problem of distribution and logistic. And one of the conference I attend, that was last year, it was about sustainability. I attend one of the very impressive presentation done by one of the logistic company like FedEx or DHL. I don't remember one of the head of the company. He told food security is not a question of food production. It's a question of food logistics. That means food is abundant and available, but there is no a logistic. Logistic include good transportation, road, and good storage technology, freezing, and that's why the couriers play a vital role in this, like DHL and FedEx and like this. I would like to wrap all of my session in this speech. I got it from the State Ministry of Food Security, Food and Water, Her Highness Ms. Mariam Al-Meheri, and the topic of my session is the readiness of UAE food security in crisis, and she said it all. She said everything in my presentation. I can start replace all my presentation with this very informative speech. I would like you to invite you to join this very informative speech. I will start this video now, and this is the Minister of the State of the Food Security of the UAE. Start.
I'm delighted to be joining you today in the Majlis Mohammed bin Zayed. Today, I'm going to be talking about an important and vital topic, food security. Now, what does food security mean? Food security is ensuring that all citizens and residents of a country have access to safe, nutritious, sufficient, and affordable food at all times, including emergencies and crises. Now, the file of food security has always been an important subject for the UAE. We receive our food through two different channels. We get our food through imports, and we get our food through local production. Now, because the UAE has a harsh environment, we're a water-scarce country, and we have very little arable land, over the years we've built the right infrastructure to ensure that we import large amounts of our food. In fact, 90% of our food is imported. into the country. In the past years, we have built the right infrastructure to ensure this and cater for the needs of the over 200 nationalities that we have living in the UAE. Now, I cannot stress enough how blessed we are. Our leadership have foresight in their DNA and have always seen that the subject of food security is extremely important and is a national priority for the country. We have also learned from previous experiences. The UAE has gone through previous crises. Just 10 years ago, there was a price hike in the food commodities such as rice, corn, and wheat. And the UAE was hit by this crisis, but learned a lot of lessons from this. So what we always have to think of is going through any crisis will make us stronger, will build our resilience in our food systems. And so going through that crisis 10 years ago, the UAE has already taken steps to ensure it's better prepared and more resilient. And so a food security alliance was set up. This alliance is basically, it consists of 14 national companies that have invested heavily in agricultural production, in the food supply chain, and food processing inside the UAE and outside the UAE. Second, we also built up national strategic storages for main food commodities. This was an exercise that has been done and is ongoing to ensure that we cater for the needs for the growing population. Third, in 2017, a Minister of State was given the file of food security, and I'm here with you to talk about the story that we've, or the actions and the process that we've gone through. Setting up the Food Security Office basically enhanced our food security and made sure that the food security subject got the importance and also the right traction with all the stakeholders in the country. So in 2017, my team and I, we developed the food security, the national food security strategy, along with all our stakeholders in the country. So now the UAE has a plan. In this plan, there are over 38 initiatives and programs to ensure that the UAE is not just food secure today, but is also food secure in a crisis and in the future too. So with this strategy, and one of the strategic directions is about ensuring that we are prepared for emergency and crisis. So over the last few years, we have been working on this file extensively. And in a way, going through this crisis is testing whether we have set up the robust systems. And it has shown that this strategy has set the right foundation to be able to overcome this crisis. So when the crisis hit a few weeks back, we all experienced it. We saw that planes suddenly were grounded. And with that, that also disrupted the food supply to the UAE, because as you can imagine, a lot of the perishable foods do come in to the UAE through the passenger aircrafts.
Thank you very much for, having this having you with me, and I will conclude everything for the last slide here about the goal of the National Food Security Strategy 2021. Is just like 8.1, develop sustainable local production by technology for the entire food chain, development of aquaculture program like fisheries like this, developing initiative of to enhance food research and development capabilities, encourage consumption of fresh local produce. This is a nice recommendation and outcomes, reducing the waste and loss of food within the supply chain. We remember the remarkable, fascinating example, the food bank, ensuring food safety and improving nutritious system. This is part of it. We have done it through DAFSA and AQCC, Abu Dhabi Quality and Control, Abu Dhabi Quality and Conformity Council Central Lab. We're doing testing for food safety and improving the nutrition system. Find multiple food banks across the country, supporting financing system for agriculture food activities. Finally, creating training program for national food safety. And we remember the most impressive and inspirations about our UAE Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, that medicine and food are red line. That pension which makes securing for people in UAE, local and residents, that everything will be available and secure, and nobody should feel concerned and worried. Thank you very much for your attending and your understanding, and I would like to see you inshallah in next or sometime in future to talk about food security and food safety topics. Thank you very much and appreciate your listening. Thank you.
شكرا أكرم, يعطيك الصحة والعافية. Akram, you can stop sharing your screen so you be visible for people. Just we will give 5 minutes if there is any question.
Aisha? Sorry.
نعم أكرم?
Yes, now I am online. Hi everybody, and thank you very much for your listening. Thank you very much.
There is no question.
To give this presentation, and I'm ready to have a question.
Yeah.
If any question, ready. If no question, I'm also again appreciate your patience and